Every generation thinks it is immune to war. Every generation is as foolish and arrogant as the last. Humans are merely an audience to a chaos that predates their existence. They bear witness to a conflict so ferocious, it has the potential to destroy us all.
Hallo, wir sind immer noch in Berlin auf dem Namco Bandai Showcase und da haben wir uns gerade Rise of Incarnates angeschaut, was hier enthüllt wurde. Und hier sind 2 Entwickler. And so, can you probably tell me what's the idea about the game? You know, like what was the first initial pitch for you?
What kind of game it is, you mean?
No, like more or less, like what was your idea? What do you wanna make before you get started with the production?
Oh, okay, the initial objective, kind of, yeah. どういう目標で開発してるかという質問なんですけど、最初は。そうそうそう、最初の目標かなっていうふうに思ってます。Okay. So, basically, when starting out the project, the impetus for this was that the 2 versus 2, the format itself, although it's very popular in Japan, is not that well known yet outside of it. So we wanted to, we were pretty confident that Western users would find it appealing as well. So we wanted to find a way to have them get excited about it. And that's why we paired it with this new IP, the Rise of Incarnates. The story, the characters, everything is new. And that was another objective we have, was to launch a new IP. So to take those 2 and put it into one was accomplishing 2 of the objectives that we wanted to. And that was kind of the start of the project and why we wanted to do that.
And what have you inspired? Because I think it's like a really kind of crazy game. Kind of remind me a bit about, probably a bit like Suda 51 style, you know, with like zombies falling out of the sky and stuff like that.
どういう影響?
Rise of Incarnate だと思います。
So really, we kind of, rather than being influenced by one particular source, we have kind of these ideas of how we want the user to interact with and enjoy our game. So when we come up with these characters and story setting and such, it's not that one particular person does it. It's a team of people from various backgrounds of, you know, working on our other franchises as well. And a collection of these ideas is how you get the results that you've seen in the game. So it's not really one particular influence.
You have like 4 characters. Maybe you can tell us a bit about what their background and what they're doing and kind of their special abilities.
Okay. 4人のキャラの
さまざまな形でゾンビを召喚して敵を攻撃したりとか敵をスタンさせたりとかするのが彼の特徴です。
So all of these 4 characters that you've seen are quite unique. Starting with obviously Mephistopheles, or his human name, Jedrick. So he is a well-rounded character, but is slightly geared towards melee attacks. And so the incarnate abilities they each have, there's several types. His is that he transforms. And so you want to get in close with your opponent in melee attack and transform as often as possible to be more effective. Then the next one, Ares. So Ares, that's the name of the god that he summons to fight alongside him. So he doesn't transform, but summons a deity to fight with him. And what you're going to do with him is he's also well-rounded, but geared slightly towards shooting. And you're going to want to call out Ares and he can shoot a huge beam at the opponent, or he can have him fight alongside him, and even do a combo, the 2 of them together. So that's one of the characteristics of him. Then there's Lilith, which is the female character who's, you know, really sexy. So her main attribute is that she's going to be shooting to get in close to her opponent. And then that's when she can do melees into, for example, kissing her opponent. It sounds strange, right? But that allows her to transform. She's a transformer type of incarnate. And that kind of powers up her attacks, shooting and such. So you're going to want to try to do that as much as possible. And last is Grim Reaper. And he's this mad scientist kind of character who uses zombies. He can call them forth to attack the opponent. He can ride on a massive amount of zombies called the zombie wave that run over the opponents. He can even have them kind of summon the zombies to hold his opponent down or to stun them. So all these characters, you can tell their abilities are quite unique.
And like I mean, like as you said, she's like really, really sexy. But don't you think that that was kind of kind of holding back girls to play the game, or like women to play the game, because it's a bit more kind of sexistic?
これ似たような質問だけど、
ところも変わってくると思うので、その辺はもう我々からしたら全然気にしてないところですよ。
Well, we're not so worried about that because we don't think that she's the level that females will be turned off by it. I mean, she's sexy, but she's cool as well, and she's the way that she transforms is pretty unique as well. So we don't feel that that's going to be a problem. Also, these are just the 4 characters we have to show yesterday and today. So when people see more of the lineup, I think that the other choices we have will make them have a different impression of the game. Obviously, that said, that just because of the game format being online versus probably going to have a larger presence of males in the audience. But we don't feel that it's a level to be a problem, though.
And why haven't you choose to take a more like a direct hit system? Like a more that you basically can target an enemy. Like in a typical shooter, you have like, I don't know, a weapon, and you can really target someone in the distance with something like a red scope, stuff like that. And here it's like really indirectional. It's like you can basically just move into the direction, but you can't really fire. You can't really target it.
You mean because the lock-on system?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's like an automatic lock-on system, but you don't have. You can't really. I think it's kind of tough if you're in a distance to shoot someone that is in the air, for example. And I think it would be much easier to hit them basically if you would have a really like a trigger-based target system.
まあなんでその
なので絶対多分皆さんも納得いっていただけるシステムになると思います。
So early in development, we've tried different methods of similar to the lines that you were saying about being able to directly aim and target. But we found that once you've fully experienced the game, that it's 2-on-2, the quick nature of the action and how the circumstances change quite drastically in a split of a second, that this is the easiest way to be able to effectively target your opponent when you're shooting. So we think that when people have had some time with the game, they'll kind of understand that choice and the reason behind it.
Since it's an F2P game, what's your monetization options there?
いつもの F2P はどういう感じですか？フリー、なんだっけ、モネタイズはどういうようになっているのか。
まあフリートゥプレイ、今後マネタイズは考えていくつもりです。
Well, we can't talk a whole lot about the monetization at this point. But that said, people when they hear free to play, they think automatically, oh, it's gonna cost so much money to play it, or if you pay, then you'll be obviously stronger than everyone else. So we realize these concerns, and that's definitely not the case, because we don't want to make this kind of instance where people can pay to win, where you power up your character and be godlike, or even for pay to play, because we want, since it's a new franchise, a new IP, new gameplay, we want people to play as much as they like to become familiar with the system, and then to really understand why it's so entertaining. And then once they've done that and they enjoy it, we believe that a lot of people will want to pay to change the look of their character, to make it more like something that they like, or to reflect their personality or whatever. These are the kind of things we think people will be quite willing to pay for. So it's more pay to fancy, he's calling it, rather than pay to win or pay to play.
Pay to fancy is cool. I like that.